welcome back to Redzone In the Lab podcast. That's RITL, also pronounced Riddle. I am Deuce, DEUCE, coming straight from the city. We in DC. I'm glad y'all can join us, man. Welcome back. I'm back. Been a while, few 3 weeks. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but I'm back. And today, day one, OTAs, phase 3, day one. Drama, maybe a little. Southeast Sean ain't there. Laramie Tunsil ain't there. Terry ain't there. But Terry's been there a little bit, but he wasn't there today. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the press conferences before and after practice. Dan Quinn, Kliff, and Jaden Daniels. Hey, man, I'm excited to be back. Like Dan said, we hunters, baby. Welcome back, man. Check this out. Let's get right into it. Terry ain't there. Terry wasn't there today, but Terry was there for phase 2. He was there, just didn't participate from with on-field activities, but he was there. Like we seen this before from Terry in 2022. He ended up getting extended. I don't think it's a big deal, especially for Terry. Dan Quinn and Dan Quinn and AP, man, it's been a long 3 weeks, been a while, man. Have said multiple times that, look, man, Terry, we want him to be a commander forever. You know what I'm saying? They even working on a deal. I think they working on a deal, man. I think something's going to be done before mandatory OTAs, which is June 10th, which is in a couple weeks, man. I think he'll have that done. So it's really not too much to talk about with Terry, man. I think he's going to get, somewhere around $33 million a year, something like that. When he got his contract the last time, he got $28 million guaranteed, which is still top 5 highs for a wide receiver over the last few years. So he probably get a little bit more than that as far as guarantees. You pay him some good money for the next 3 to 5 year deal, kind of end his career here. You go back to the table after 3 years. So I think that's going to be kind of something that they end up doing with Terry. But when it comes to Laramie Tunsil, this is kind of tricky. So, like, think about it. Remember, we had a couple people on talking about Laramie Tunsil and OTAs and training camp and all. Like, he just doesn't. It's not about the money with him when it comes down to that. Like, he doesn't do the voluntary thing. I don't think he participates in like the beginning of training camp. He doesn't do mandatory OTAs and any of those things, I don't believe. So it'll be interesting to see, how he approaches this summer. But like he's an elite left tackle, right? Yes, you want the continuity. It's a different offense, different players, so you want all that. So I get it. I understand. I hope he is there. But if he's not there, look, man, he's an all-pro. He's one of the best for a reason, of all time for a reason. So I mean, I won't make it like a big deal, but the conversation is going to start if he's not here for mandatory, right? I think this year he's at 21.3 million base with a 10 million guarantees. Next year he has no guarantees at a $21.3 million base. So of course I think he's looking for a new deal also, but we just don't know. He had a comment when we traded for him. Like they asked him about extension and all that, and he basically said like, AP know where I stand, right? So obviously they had that conversation. They know what's what. We don't know what it is, but we're gonna figure it out soon. So like if he gets some type of extension or something like that, then it'll come. We'll see it. If not, it won't. If he's there, he won't. Like this is something like today. It's voluntary. That's you want everyone there, but everyone is not there, right? But it's nothing to get like in a crunch about. Like even Dan here, I'm talking with these guys during and when the season in the off season. So he's communicating with these guys. So that's good. It's good to have a open communication with your players so he understands where they are and what's going on in training, all that other different stuff. Now, when it comes to Southeast Sean, like he has 18 million salary this year, 18 million next year. He has 2 million bonus for this year and next year. And that's not a lot, especially with this injury. So he's kind of really in the tough spot, right? Like he's been injured the last few years. He was injured the end of last year. And I know, AP is like he believes in him. Like he believes he can get back to what he once was. And some fans don't, some fans do. If he gives me like 85% of who he was, I would love that. But how much does that cost? Right? Are they going to take some of this base salary and convert it into guarantees, kind of like how they did Debo? Right? He probably saw that deal with Debo and he was like, mate, I want that. But he's injured, right? So we don't know where he is. Then he's not here, to showcase his health. If that's the case, if he's healthy, he's not here to showcase it. So I don't know, man. But like, I don't want to get too much into it until June 10th when mandatory OTAs come around, because he's someone like he's not like Laramie Tunsil. Like you need to be here, right? Especially for us to see you healthy and see your health. So that's the one that I think I would be more concerned about. Like I think Terry gets paid before June 10th. I'm not concerned about that at all. Laramie Tunsil, like this is normal practices for him. This is normal practice for him throughout his career. So I'm not too concerned about that. But Southeast Sean, I am, especially with him being injured. Like he might want more guarantees. Right? I mean, this is his life. He's out here, he's playing. But for the team, they're like, hey, look, we're not going to give you guarantees. Like, you got to get your paycheck week to week. Until we see some improvement with your health. And you not being there is not showing them improvement with your health. So those are things about the three no-shows. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't want to make it a big deal. Some people may make it a big deal, but I'm not ready to do that yet until mandatory OTAs. All right. Kliff Kingsbury, let's put up a couple quotes from him. Kingsbury on Debo, one of the best competitors I've gone against as a coach. He has a natural feel for things. That was about him in Arizona when he was going up against Debo. One of the things about Debo Samuels, which I'm excited about, along with his play, is his demeanor on the field. He plays with an attitude. He plays with aggression. We really haven't seen that since Pierre Garçon. He gives me Pierre Garçon vibes, and that is what I am interested in seeing bring to this team, someone with that type of dog in him. Right? Like Terry gives it to it, like, but you have to get Terry to a certain point. Debo is who he is. Like that's why his name is Debo. So Kliff's seen that, right? Kliff's seen that multiple years in a row. They played him twice a year, so he understands what he brings to this team. Another thing that Kliff said that I want to point out is the thing about him staying in Washington, right? He had a few opportunities. We went to the NFC Championship game. It was some reports out there that, he had a couple Zoom meetings. He also told teams so he wanted to wait. Like he never gave me the vibe that he wanted to leave or he wanted another job opportunity. It just, he just didn't show that urgency for that. And I'm excited. I'm glad, but we didn't lose anyone. Right, we didn't lose the Newman, the assistant GM, who had a couple interviews. He decided to pull his name out of those as a candidate for some of those teams, and he wanted to come back. So we have everyone. We even added someone, and this is something we don't really talk about. Wes Welker has come on as an offensive assistant. We don't know what that role is going to look like, right? But I'm excited about it. And he said like DQ has created a tremendous culture, excited to continue to learn from DQ and these other coaches and continue to try to build this thing, which I believe him, right? When you look at what he came from in Arizona, is always about like him not being able to sustain offensive success or team success throughout the season. It had a lot of turmoil towards the end of the relationship with the Cardinals. So he said he found a love back in football, right? So you might want to build this thing and stay around. Like I really want to see how this goes when, moving forward towards next year, what he decides to do. I mean, Kliff might end up being the guy that be like, you know what, I like this. Like if you pay me as a middle of the pack a head coach as an OC, I might want to stay here. I don't think that's the case. I absolutely think he wants to get another job, but we just have to see. But what DQ is building here, like coaches want to be here, players want to be here. But I like the thing about AP, how he's kind of making sure that you're just not bringing everyone that wants to. Like, you still have to fit what our game plan is. You still have to fit our culture. You still have to fit what it is that we're trying to do here. So that's exciting because the coaches we have should be able to handle any type of, personality that comes in, right? Because they have so much experience coaching, playing, and high level football and all those different things. So I'm excited to see Kliff going into his second year as an OC. Dan Quinn, man, Dan was on a heater, bro. Like, Dan was on a heater. One of the things I want to just bring out three things about Dan Quinn. Like, we talk about this a lot. Like, when teams say, or when fans say, other defenses, they have a full year on you, and they watching the tape on what you like. For me, yes, that's true, right? The defense does have that. D coordinators, they do have these things. But it's like the offensive coordinator, the offensive side of the ball, what do you think they're doing during their offseason? They're looking at the same tape you're looking at, and they're building off of it into a direction that you don't know where they're going, right? Because it's their offense. So you don't really have an idea of where they're going to take what they did last year and where they're going to go with it. Right. So as much as how much focus as you put in what you've already seen, Kliff and those guys is evolving into something totally different that you haven't seen. So even having a full year of what they were, you don't know what they're going to be. So defenses is still playing behind the 8 ball. Right. And that's why he says, there's a lot of the playbook people haven't seen featuring new players in different spots, which is really interesting about the different spots part that I'm seeing that now. And, you have Jalen Lane, you have Debo Samuel. So you have some of those guys, those weapons that we didn't have last year that we have this year. And we have a way better offensive line. We got a top 5 left tackle. We got a first round pick who is also great. So this offensive line is going to be so much better than what it was last year. Sam Cosmi, I think this is good. Dan Quinn mentioned that his recovery is excellent. He's really off to a strong start. He's hitting all the markers he's supposed to now. So he's on track. Like, we really don't have a timetable when he's coming back. I kind of always said week 10. This is a shot in the dark between week 10 and week 12. I think that'll be good for him. But you never know. They might come back early with all this different medicine and things that's out there and these different recovery tools that they have. So I'm interested to see that, but I'm glad, he's strong. We've seen him on a few videos over the last few months. So that's very encouraging that he's up doing things up and around. I don't know. We don't know what he's doing as far as like what rehab he is or what stage he's at, but whatever stage it is, he's where he's supposed to be now. Dan Quinn lets us know that. So this is the funny thing. This is what I love. They asked him a question about last year. You were the Hunters. Quinn immediately stopped the question. He stopped the question. And he said, we're always the Hunters. Like, we're always going to be the Hunters, right? Regardless of like our record, our success the previous year, we're always going to have the mentality of being a hunter. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be hunters, right? That's going to be our mindset, to go out there and hunt. We're not waiting for you to come. We're not setting up a defensive mechanism to prevent you from attacking us. No, we're coming to attack you. We're hunting you. right? You're not going to be like we're not going to be the hunted. We're going to be the hunters. We're going out and we're still going on attack mode. I love that from Dan Quinn. And he was extremely serious about it because he stopped the reporter Scott from Channel 7 News. He stopped the mid-sentence, anticipated what he was going to say, and just said, "We are always the hunters." I love that from Dan Quinn. All right, JD5. Like it's been a whole lot of noise, all types of noise. His personal life, sports, fashion, you know, a lot of things. I can't think of the other word, but um sponsorships. That's the word I was looking for. It's been all types of noise outside of actual football, right? But you know, Jaden said it doesn't matter. You have to keep proving yourself, and that's the attitude you want from someone that has seen some success that a lot of people have never seen before. The type of success he had last year, no one has really ever seen that before. But the attitude, I still have to go out there and prove myself, right? Nothing I did mattered, but how I follow up with it. And if you always want to follow up success with more success to see how you can build to be more successful, what can I add to make me better? Understanding that I do have flaws. How can I how can I attack these flaws? How can I be better? How can I make these wrongs right? Just continue to try to get better. That's the type of attitude you want to have. I'm so glad we have Jaden Daniels. And this whole thing about him getting bigger, people looking at pictures from last year to this year, like Jay just said, yeah, I was in the weight room. Like I'll just let the people talk about it. Like it's funny to him, you know, he's mentioned how like it's funny to him when people say that, you know, he's bigger, he's stronger, this, and that. He's like, look, I put a plan together, right? And they mentioned that at the season, the season end presser, AP and Dan mentioned that about, you know, they all put a plan out for all of the players. Like this is what I want to work on over this amount, and he did it. I was in the weight room, like he said, I wasn't thinking about what I eat, this, and that. I was just doing what I was supposed to do, right? And when you do what you're supposed to do, you'll get results every single time. Being in the same offense, Jade mentioned, it helps me get more comfortable with the system and the play caller. We saw some little stuff last year with him and Kliff last year, you know. So it's like once you understand terminology, I think that's what matters the most, especially with offense. Once you understand terminology, everything else will fall into place, right? Once you understand colors, numbers, shapes, whatever they use for the terminology of the offense, everything will fall into place. Then you can start adding different things, adding this, adding that, adding this, because you have the foundation, you have the base down. And once you have the base down, like Jaden has the base down of the offense, Kliff with that offense, and then also the play caller, right? Jaden understands who Kliff is. Kliff is understands who Jaden is. Their relationship is going to continue to evolve because that's what it's supposed to do. And the more and more you get acclimated with each other, the more you can just start looking at each other and understanding what the other one is going to do. Because like that's where you want to be. That's where you want to get to. So yeah, man. So like that is today's phase 3, day 1 of OTAs. Tomorrow is day 2. Come back tomorrow here, talk about some of whatever went on yesterday. I mean, tomorrow we're going to talk about it tomorrow evening, and also at 7 p.m. The Commanders log is dropping, so check that out at 7 p.m. I'm gonna try to put this out in a few minutes, which is going to be close to 7 p.m. You know, but check that out. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. But I'm excited. Are you excited? Like, are you excited? And also, I want I would love to have you all support. Let me just move from here. I have a hotline. Like, I'm going to continue to. I got to change the voicemail from what it was, but it's 202-525-7284. Call that, leave a message about something that I talked about today. You want to comment on something you want me to talk about tomorrow. If you're interested in the clothing that you've seen, if you're interested in putting any of your brands on here, you want me to talk about it, whatever. You got grievances, you're upset, you're mad about the team, whatever it is, please call in, get that hotline jumping. I would absolutely love it. Absolutely love. My bad. I would absolutely love for you guys to join on in there. But thank you so much. We're going to be coming live soon again. But do me a favor, don't forget to comment, comment on this video. Like I try to hit the comments within like a couple days, but because I'm coming trying to do every day, like doing OTAs and moving forward, try to get to those, before the next show and try to, respond to you. But yeah, man, please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all those good things, man. This is Redzone in the Lab. I am Deuce. I appreciate you for joining. The RITL, Riddle. If you hear me say Riddle moving forward, I'm talking about Redzone in the Lab. RITL. Appreciate y'all, man. One love. Oh, remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one hop.